Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mic check. 1, 2, 1, 2. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Welcome to the Den. If you are not familiar with the Den, well, this is the best conversation on the entire. I mean, like you can search, you can scour, you can Google, you can like log into your Netscape Navigator and you can like search the entire interwebs. You will not find a better conversation than right here in the Den. The reason why this is the best conversation is because of all of you wonderful people who tune in and make this such a great conversation. So, I hope y'all are doing well. I hope life is treating you good. I hope that all the things you wake up and strive for on a daily basis are in reach. But before we get into it, it is an honor, it is a privilege, but most of all, it is my pleasure to have these crazy conversations with y'all. So I thank you for being here. Today we're going to talk about, are white women envious, not jealous, envious of black women? And the reason why I inquire of this, right? And as y'all know, there has been a series of conversations taking place, the last week or so. And you're like, yeah, Honcho, usually you sprinkle these kind of topics in. You're wondering, well, why are we talking about this stuff so much? Well, I'll explain later. Just remind me. But a call was made, and the caller made a statement along the lines, it's not verbatim, and I'm not quoting. This is, in reference to that, white women go get the shots and the surgeries and things like that to look like black women or to get black women's shapes. And so after hearing that, I got to wondering, I'm like, well, is that the case? Or white women envious of black women's body types? And if so, what else could they possibly be envious of? Because, there's a statement I've heard a lot of black women say that the white woman has been stealing black people again, has been stealing all the black men, right? I guess let me say, well, I don't have the yell abilities inside, but let's talk about it. Let me know if this works. Is that a tidbit better? Goddamn mic all in the screen. It looks weird. We have the daughter of the Discord, Mr. Culture himself, joining us. John, my favorite New Yorker, in the building. Free Jen, how are you doing? Is it afternoon? Yes, we're afternoon time, right? Yeah, this afternoon, Miss Jen. Good to see you. Broderick, Baby Back, Chicken Ribs. Brooks, how you doing this afternoon, sir? Footballer 503, how you doing this afternoon, sir? Beyond a funny wigger, I do not bash women. We just speak. And we're going to follow the rules, right? Because last time it was a conversation about black women, and I was told in the Discord that when we have conversations about certain people, that those people should have the first opportunity to call in, right? So since we're going to be discussing envious white women, I think we should all step aside and let the white ladies have first in line for the den line this afternoon. Let's see. Vince, what's the motherfucking deal? Jason S., what's the motherfucking deal? The lovely Miss Jess Sarah, how are you doing this afternoon? Shannon Washington, good to see you. What's the motherfucking deal? The lovely Miss K. Grace, how are you doing this afternoon? Professor Trio, what's the motherfucking deal? Shonda Tony, how are you doing this afternoon? And let me see. Calhoun. Strange person. Let me see. You on an airplane? Okay, well, good. Welcome. Not welcome. But hope you have a safe trip, safe return home. Tell them to put the Den on the loudspeaker. This will be very enjoyable for all of the passengers. I'm sure they would love it. DeAndre was fucking turning that flight around mid-flight. It would be a bad fucking deal. DeAndre, what's the motherfucking deal? Do 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 do. Boop boop boots. Boop boop boots. Let me see. We got to turn up something. Let me see. I guess let me put the gain up here. I don't know why on different. I guess maybe that makes sense. Different programs for some reason the audio is always different. Even though I try to have the settings as close to the same as. Let me say something because I know it's gonna be something stupid because it's always something really like dumb, something simple and stupid. Yeah, that's cool. All right, cool. That's cool. Pardon me. I apologize for the. Let's do maybe like something like that. I don't know if it's too loud. Y'all let me know. Anyway, excuse me. We shall figure it out. 12. What's the motherfucking deal? How you doing this afternoon, ma'am? And Bad and Bougie, how are you doing this afternoon, man? Giant Mess, good to see you. What's the motherfucking deal? Okay, look, hey, if I miss you, I ain't dish you. Let's get let's get into it. That's always a good conversation, though. So, these are our statements that have been made by black women. Okay, so before y'all start saying I'm attacking and doing all this other stuff, this is where the origin of like all of these conversations are coming from. So, white women are going and doing things to their bodies to emulate the figures of black women, is a statement that was made. White women are taking all of the good black men. There's another statement that's made. So, like I said, are they envious of something that the black woman has that they are trying to take away from them, right? When we have conversations about a lot of things, a lot of times these conversations end up spawning into something else. We can talk about things that black women do. We get references to the behaviors of white women and women of other races. So I did a little bit of not very much research, like a small amount. And during that research, I actually came up with some very interesting stuff. So we're going to have some interesting topics for later on this week. But I was really trying to figure it out. I was really trying to see, like, is there something that I'm missing? Am I overlooking something? Is there something that I don't know, right? And I didn't see it. And so, hold on, I got something special I'm gonna show y'all here in just a sec. Okay, here we go. Something's missing. Hold on. There's some pictures that are missing because I had a bunch of pictures I had for y'all. I'll put this up. Y'all like that for right now. This has nothing to do with anything, but I'll put this picture up for y'all because I know y'all enjoy it. But I'm gonna put this over here, right here, right now. That'll look good. All right. So I couldn't think of anything, right? Because when I looked at the numbers and I looked at it, well, what is it that black women are having that white women are not having? And across all the relatively important statistics, I guess, there's nothing necessarily favorable for black women. And shout out to John because, he said some things in a call last week and said, let me go look at some of this stuff. Let me go look at some of this information. This can't be true. John would not come on here bringing pertinent information relevant to the topic. I just don't believe that he would do such a thing because John is an evil white man. And so let me do some research for myself. And yet the things that John said were true. I looked at a few different things, looked at a few different years. I'm just like, yeah, well, these things seem to be relatively consistent. This is not a new trend. This is not something that just happened, out of nowhere. It didn't happen within the last 4 years under Trump. So I couldn't figure out what it was. And so I started thinking about it. I'm like, the white women are getting their bodies done. Now, I don't know. I don't really know. The only one I know is Coco. I think she probably got like some ass alterations. And when we're talking about getting bodies done, like, what are we saying, right? Because people have been getting fake titties forever. Everybody does that. Like, I don't think that's, like exclusively a thing. And so if it's okay for everybody to get their titties done, right? Then why is it a thing when people are getting, asses and injections? Like, I'm not a fan of any of it. So, I'm just keep it 100 across the board. But, like, if it's okay for everybody to get their breasts done, like, why has it become a race-specific thing, when we're talking about a certain area, right? Yeah, and some of them do go get remolded in certain areas, which is crazy, right? So anyway, what I'm saying is, let's be realistic. Like, let's kill the stereotype about that all black women just have this particular body, okay? Like this particular body type. It's not factual. It's a lot of black women that are linear, if you will, right? There are some that are more curvaceous, They're all different types of body types, so it's not exclusive to anything. But what I do think was happening at one point in time is that in white culture, being on the larger end of the scale, or even being like, I guess what you call plus size, but what we would say maybe average is now, like all of that was frowned upon, right? Like being big was a no-go. Niggas ain't ever been tripping on no shit like that. So I think it became more acceptable, and you started to see more of the quote-unquote thick white woman. But I'm just looking at it, I'm like, okay, even if that's the case, that's such a frivolous thing. Then so we're like looking at the thing, all the black men, right? So I believe it's 15% of black men are with non-black women, right? And I guess you could count her. I guess if you were actually with her, you could count her as a black woman, right? She goes in the black statistic, right? So, I don't hear any black men talking about why the white man taking all our good black women, right? Because she's married to a white guy, or whichever way. I've never heard that. Anyway, so 3/5 of those women are white, right? So you got like, what is that, 9% then? You do like what, 3/5 of 15, something like that, 9. So that means like 9% of black men are dating or married to, right? Because dating might be a different thing. But married to, sealing the deal, putting the official stamp on it. Only 9% of black men are married to white women. 91% of black men you have access to. 91% of black men who are trying to get married, right? You have access to, but you're focused on the 9%. All right. But the white women are taking this from you. And again, I'm trying to figure it out. Where are the white women envious? What is it that they're envious of, right? Now, I've only seen a few white women go out and do that anyway. Like, let's say like we do give it the body type thing, right? I've seen very few white women do that, and I'm sure they're like in the sex trade or something of that nature. Let's flip the script for a second, right? Let's talk about things that black women do that may be considered, white. And I don't think there's a lot either. Like I said, I think there's things that just women do across the board. But the main thing that jumps out to me, something I talk about quite often, and something that almost all black women do. I mean, if we're talking about especially percentage-wise in comparison to the other behavior, like something that like maybe a percentage, 2 or 3%, like maybe 5% of white women do at most, compared to something that I believe upwards of 95% of black women do. And that is rocking the artificial European style hair, right? Because you know that's not your hair type, right? That's something different. So would you be able to say, and again, y'all let me know, let's do a quick poll. Would you say that wearing straight weave is an emulation of a different culture? Right? Because there's like no straight hair black people. Like, I mean, y'all know what I'm saying, like very few, and the majority probably have some mixture in there, right? So would you say that wearing straight European-esque hair, the hair that mostly European-based cultures have, and your hair was not that, would you consider that like an appropriation or an emulation of another culture? 0 for no, 1 for yes. Just to make it real quick. So I'm trying to figure it out. I've got a couple of yeses. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Okay. I'm about to say, what in the fuck? I thought, but okay. So I see. Let's see. I see a no. I see 1, 2. Let's see, what is it? 3, 4, 5. 5 or 6 yeses. Okay. So the majority. Let's not say everybody, but the overwhelming majority would say yes. Okay. And I would agree. I think so. Because again, if you're doing something to yourself that you cannot do naturally, then you had to get it from somewhere. If you didn't see it in your natural environment, then you had to recreate it from somewhere. Okay. Well, thank you, Miss Jen. I'm glad you said that. Oh, the hairdressers don't understand. Oh, they missing out on the money. If they don't know how to install the hair weave, they missing out on all the bread. Look, they better get hip to the game. Better watch some YouTube tutorials. Make sure you're in the live chat and not the top chat if you can't see all the comments. You know what I'm saying? Miss Jessera. So, I'm just trying to figure out like where it comes from, right? And again, I shouldn't have to preface this, I shouldn't have to state this, but I guess if somebody's new and is listening in and doesn't understand, like, I am attracted, my soul burns on fire for the black woman. But let me say this, and I also must clarify, it's a small percentage. This is what I can't say. Is that the okay symbol? I can't put that up. Say okay. A small percentage of black women, right? Because the majority of them, and to me, are not appealing. Whether it be behavior or certain appearances. And it was funny because, like I say, me and my old lady were chopping up. It's good to have be able to have those conversations. Shout out to all the gentlemen who have, spouses, partners that they can have these conversations. Ladies too, if you have a partner that you can talk with. Let me not leave you guys out. And she kind of felt similar, about some of the statements that I was making. So I don't think it's not even a thing. It's like I know for a fact that white women are not envious of the black woman. And so another part of this, and then we're going to open up the lines, right? And again, if we're talking about a specific group, we're going to let those groups call in first. So white women have the floor. It's not often that I say that, right? I love y'all too. But white women have the floor. Black women next. And then fellas, we're gonna let the ladies speak. Because we want to, like, the ladies have been telling me they feel overwhelmed. They feel bombarded sometimes, that we attack. So I want to make sure that I'm allowing the ladies to have a chance to speak, that your voices are adequately heard on the den, because, you know, a lot of us men are simply just trying to understand where you come from. It's hard for some of us to process it because we deal with things differently. So I want to allow the ladies to have a chance to have the floor and explain their views. Again, if you're a white lady and you call in, I would love for you to be genuinely open and honest about your views, and interactions with black women. Is there an issue? And then, black women vice versa. Like, is there an issue? What is the issue with white women? Because I only know the black side more because of the conversations I've had more of. And it tends to, again, when you get to the hair thing, to feel, well, white women do it too. I'm glad. Let me show something. I'm mad because I don't think all of the photos saved, right? And I'm kind of upset because I wish they did. I had a few pictures I wanted to share with you because I was looking up extensions and things, right? And I want to bring this other point up too, real quick. Like, this is something that bothers me because, again, this is only a black thing, right? And we're talking about who's trying to be like who and what, right? And the problem. This is a black woman that a lot of black women give attention to for whatever reason. I don't know. I think her mother, terrible representatives of the black community or black females, but they got shows, they get to put themselves out there. I think these are some of the most toxic people on the planet. But this woman is promoting what? And again, look at her. She looks ridiculous. Like, Blac Chyna is one of the most ridiculous looking women on the planet. Like, and I wasn't even thinking about this before when I got the picture. Like, I just want to show this because she's promoting this fucking skin bleaching, skin lightening, whitening cream. Who is she selling this to? Is she selling this to white women? You think like white women love to follow Blac Chyna? Woman's name is Black. Blac Chyna, right? Selling skin lightening cream. Interesting, right? Very interesting. So, I don't know what this is. These. I wish y'all could see my mouse. Can't see my mouse. These fucking eyebrows bother me, right? Like, let me see. It's because it's fucking mirrored. I don't know what's right here. Like this. What is this? This bothers me. The eyebrows fucking bother me. Is there hair there? Is there like actual brow there? Now, this fucking bleach blonde fucking you tell me this looks natural to you? This looks good to someone. Someone is attracted to this, right? Now, I get it. Last call for alcohol. You ain't hit it big. You ain't hit the jackpot. There's something to slide in after the club. Fuck it. Wrap it up twice. But to say that this is a standard or this is attractive, this is what women should uphold themselves to be, and again, I'm not just trying to bad, just like all the work she's gone and done. This is an example of it. She's gotten probably more work done than anybody else knows. And I mean, just she looks worked over. And again, I think she has ass and some other shit, well, that you probably can't see as well. She's a prominent black woman in the culture. But this is not what I wanted to get into, but that was there. I wanted to get into the extensions thing because, again, an argument about the extensions that I have is, it looking natural, looking like your own hair. And I just want to pull up a couple of things real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 pictures. I want to show y'all. This is Exhibit A. All right. It's before and after. Let me actually get out of the way so y'all can see this shit. I'll disappear for a moment, right? There we go. Exhibit A. Does that look too far-fetched? Does that look too far-fetched? Does it look beyond belief that could be her own hair? I mean, That's just, I mean, I want to know your opinion. And we can do it, like I say, quick poll. 0 for no, 1 for yes. Does this look, well, yeah, we know about the root. The coloring does not go all the way there. But we're just talking about the appearance of the hair. You know what I'm saying? It looks like she owns a curling iron. Okay, okay. Keeping it real time, Raleigh. What's the motherfucking deal? Delta Echo Golf. What's the motherfucking deal? Impaler Monarch. Still kind of JJ from Good Time. But like I said, let's see. So that's one, right? I got a couple of more. Let me do this, and then we're gonna open up the line, as I really want to, hear what y'all have to think. 2, 4. Actually, I got 6 pictures. So we'll do one white, one black. We'll go back and forth, right? Here is. We'll use this one right here. I'm not sure exactly how the process works. This is a promotion. This is a picture somebody put up to promote their services, right? Like, this is something that somebody put up. Hair by Mika. She put this up to promote her services. So I just hit the Google, and this is like one of the first pictures that popped up. Okay. That can't be healthy, can it? And that's part of the point, exactly. Because it starts young. Now, I'm going to get to something. Because what you do when you start promoting all this, because more black women wear fucking weave than wear their hair naturally by far. You tell these young girls that their hair ain't shit. You tell these young girls that their hair ain't good. That's not white people tell them that. 'Cause we told you, white people are like, hey, I like your hair. I get more compliments from curious white people about my hair than anything, right? Black women, they look envious because my shit real and they shit don't be. You know what I mean? Like, unless the woman has locks, like, black women don't compliment. Like, other women with locks compliment my hair. You know what I'm saying? But as far as that, like, most or more natural women compliment. Like, but women who wear their hair artificially and throw the kit on to get shit as long as mine, like, they don't. I don't think I've ever had that. So what I'm saying is, hella young, you're teaching this child to hate her own hair. She'd rather put this fucking this fucking helmet, this part. Look at what is this? Like, it looks like burnt cake. Like, I'm not sure what's going on. Prepaid, what's the motherfucking deal? So this is what I'm saying. This is unacceptable. Like, you teach the young girl, you start teaching them young to start hating their own hair. Nobody does that. But black people are telling their own black people to hate their own hair. All right, let's put up another one, right? I showed y'all Black China. I want y'all to tell me, which of these looks real. I mean, again, 0 for no, 1 for yes, as I put these pictures up. If these look, believable, or if they look, artificial. I just want to know your thoughts. Let's pull this one up. Did not let me do it? Told y'all this fucking mouse is just a little janky. All right, let's try this one. Why did it keep going? What are you doing? All right, there we go. Okay. Right here. Believable or no? Or does it look like that could be her own hair? You know what I'm saying? And like I say, we can tell, because you can obviously tell when you see them that it's not their hair. We know all of these pictures are going to be, it's not going to be their hair. But does it look believable? If you were to walk past them, would you believe that that came out of their heads? Okay. Get off my boy, Beyond a Funny Nigga. Get off my boy, man. He ain't here to defend himself. All right. Let's get these others up real quick. So, like I say, we can just check them all out. I like this one. I think this one's cool. Let's use this one. What do y'all feel about this one? And I mean, ultimately, we're looking at the end product. We're looking at the end product. This is just where they started and where they finished up. You know what I'm saying? So when they finished up, does it look believable? Does it look like that? You know? I mean, look, don't let the fact that you saw how it started out fool you. You know what I'm saying? Don't be biased. You know what I'm saying? Just how it looks ultimately. You know what I mean? This is like a normal style. I don't think this is like what a normal black woman wears. I don't think this is too outrageous. I don't think it's uh, too crazy. This is a typical style. It just looks crazy because of how it started and what it came from to how it ended up. You know what I'm saying? So like I say, don't be swayed. I do certain things to, just to kind of fuck with you a little bit, but you know, like I said, I had to go with the pictures that I could find that were easily attainable. Miss Bad and Bougie. I couldn't find a lot of white women weave pictures to start off with, or at least before and after shots. So I just had to go with what was easily accessible. So I apologize if one was more readily available than the other, uh, even though the populace of one demographic is significantly larger. I don't know why that's a thing. So people say that was believable. Okay, let's get the last two. Um, right here, I think will be good. Oh damn, it's big. That's what she said. White lady, come back to me. Where you going away on the screen? All right. Uh, hmm. But see, Bad and Bougie again. Like I said, I had to find before and after photos. I found the most readily available photos um, that I could. I didn't have time to go through and put some together uh, to find it. Mm, okay. All right, and do one last one, and then we're gonna start taking some calls again. White ladies first in line today. I want to hear from you guys. You guys never get special. White ladies never get special treatment in here. You know what? They are the least privileged class in the den. I'm going to start showing them some love. I've talked about how, the white man's the most hated in America. I've talked about the attack on black masculinity. We've talked about how black women are unprotected and various other black female topics. Not all of them the most pleasant. And, white women never get a chance to shine in the den. So, hey, today is your day. Like Burger King, have it your way. Let's put this last photo up, and then we'll start taking some calls. And if you want to call, this is here by Natalie B. I'm free plugs. I don't know who Natalie B is. Again, first things that popped up when I was on the internet. You know. So you got a story that just happened today? Absolutely, absolutely. I'll make sure to get you in. So this is where we're at. This is where we started. Like this, we should just have I should have a stream of just judging weed. That's what we should just do. We just have a day. I'm just gonna put up a whole bunch of pictures off the fucking internet. Yeah, for one day, the white ladies get special privilege in the den, right? I guess it's only fair. I'm an equal opportunity uh, applier or some shit. I don't know. All right, look, Natalie B, that's all the free plugging you're gonna get. But if you are, look, Natalie B will get you right. She went from looking like ooh wee to ooh me. Hey, yeah, she I don't know, it ain't perfect, but anyway. So, the hell, I ain't gonna do no damn boost your subscribers. Dog. You know what? That would be hilarious. Come on, yeah, I got some makeup tutorial. I'm gonna get the little one. I'm gonna do makeup on the little one, and then just fuck it up. It's gonna be so traumatic. She'll never want to wear makeup ever in her life. It'll be the worst. That's not a bad idea. I'm gonna traumatize the fuck out of her so she'll never wear makeup. Um, let's have fun today, man. Hey, you know when we get together in the den, it's an event. It's not a live stream. We are a community. This is not a channel. We're here to have a good time, man. Like I say, it's all about having fun. We want to have good discussion. We want to get to things. You ain't got to get too upset. We just got opinions to express. Everybody should be blessed. No, I got no more freestyle. Give me a second. Let me get the phone lined up. We're going to take some calls. But again, I would love to hear all of the opinions on this topic today. This should be very, very intriguing. All right, you get out the way. Open up the damn line. God damn it. Now, remember, white ladies to the front of the line, I would love to hear from you first. Do you, or for you to explain your experiences, dealing with black women, do you feel like white women are envious of black women, or vice versa? Your honest experiences with women. I won't say of other races, but of the black race. I would like to really hear the female perspective first. So the line is open, 855-948-0369. Let's give the ladies line. If I don't hear from a white lady, we'll give the first 5 minutes. If I don't hear from in 5 minutes, then we'll open up the line. We'll give the black ladies a chance to, defend themselves or express their thoughts. And then after that, we'll open it up, for everyone. So we'll be fair and square. So if you're trying to get in where you fit in, go ahead and call in now. Or, what's the shit they say at weddings? Speak now or forever hold your peace on this issue. And trust me, look, this is your channel. I know some of y'all been dealing with black women some of you white ladies been dealing with black women like throughout the years, and you've been wanting a chance to say it with no repercussions. I know you have. I know y'all have. And I know black women get mad, don't you goddamn say it, Honcho, you dirty nigga. This is your chance to do it. Unabashed it. You know what I'm saying? And speak your piece. Say what it is you honestly feel. Or don't. I don't know. I think someone out there is contemplating right now. Should I honestly call in and say this? It may be detrimental to the future. You say we can all be friends and then I complain over petty shit. Oh man, somebody will find a reason. You hit me with more green paintballs than red. You hate me. You might be. Caller, I see you on the line right now, but I'm gonna wait on your call. Like I said, I'm trying to wait for the ladies to have first call, first go. So I'm gonna hold off. I'm gonna let all the ladies have first go. And weave on the head, Honcho. I'm trying to give the ladies a chance. Y'all got about 4 more minutes or so. And then, like I say, we will. Yeah, it may be. Are there any other Caucasian? And here's honestly, like, I guess because maybe if you're Hispanic, you may think the same. We'll use non-black females. It doesn't have to necessarily just be white, because I guess the reference I made applies to a lot of y'all. Remember the Indian chick was in here the other day trying to say all this other nonsense. So, I want to know, because again, I think the Indian lady who was in here who was saying some things laid reference to some true sentiments of how people feel, because she came here saying some crazy stuff, then she ended up switching it up, right? So I'm trying to see, ladies, I'm trying to give you a chance, trying to give you an opportunity. I'm laughing, prepaid. Yeah, she still posted about a fruit stand, man. She can't call. She's still on shift. Oh man. We got you, Miss Kangaroo. You're gonna be just fine. No worries. I don't know. I don't think any. I don't think any of the. I don't think any of the non-black females want to call in. So it's not looking likely. So we'll go ahead. Uh, if you are a black female and you would like to express your thoughts on today's topic, please call in and let's discuss your experiences. If you're here, hit the like button if you like it. I mean, if you're not a hater, that's my whole thing. Like, you ain't gotta like it, but if you're not a hater, hit the like button. If you are, then don't, do what you do. Hit the dislike button. I don't care. That's for you to deal with, for you to figure out. You say no black female's gonna call in. I'm terrible. I would love to hear it. It's ladies' time right now. The ladies say they never get a chance to express themselves. The ladies say they never get their voices heard. They say they get suppressed. So I have been making it exclusive for the ladies to call in first to see what they would like to say on the topic, because these voices must be heard, right? Respect all women, believe all women. Is it damning on them or is it damning on me, culture? It's like sometimes I just get myself like, damn it, damn myself. You feel me? Well, what's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this afternoon? All right, Brown Becky. What are your thoughts, Miss Brown Becky, of your dealings with black women? Have you had pleasant experiences, difficult experiences? What would you say? Oh.
I was going to tell. I don't care who gets mad. These are facts, okay? It's a couple of black women in my family, okay? I'm not saying all of them because, we have to say not all, but I had to help one take her weave out. I had my fingers felt like Crisco and it stank so bad. And then she washed her hair and it didn't even look like it was washed thoroughly, or maybe it was just too much stuff on it. She had kept it on, I think, for a month and a half or two. It smelled so bad. I couldn't get the stench out of my hands for about 3 days. It was just really bad. And she had hair that was like a bob. But she had these long-ass braids or other hair she had gotten sold in at another time. And I just blew dry her hair, and she looked so pretty, but it got a little frizzy. And I told her, it's okay, you look pretty. It looks beautiful. But she likes to put all this hair on, and no, it's not a drag, bad and bougie. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. I'm just saying what I've seen. And it's sad because then I see their little girls with long-ass fake braids, and it's starting to pull their little hair. So, and others, they keep their hair up, pretty decently. But I'm just, I would never do that to a child. I have stepchildren. When they would come to me, I would do their hair. I refuse to pay to get anything on their hair except Baby Love. I used to use Baby Love before. But it's, in my opinion, and I believe that if you're teaching your child in one step oh, we're black, we're proud, and black women this, or brown women, or white women. You know, you should um, at least let the child make their own decisions. But if they see mom with always this certain kind of hair, um, then they're gonna grow up thinking that's the only way they look pretty. And I'm telling you because I have family members and I see it, and it's just sad. I like seeing the little girls with their natural hair, and but the moms are doing this, and not all. Let me clarify that, because we're trying not to get no drag sessions. This is not at least this Brown Becky is not saying all black women, but so that's my opinion, and it's I've seen how it gets sold in and kept for so long, and I'm like, how can you wash the bottom? It's like I feel bad because I if I don't wash my hair in 2 days, my scalp is itching. So I don't know how you can get used to having your hair like not being able to wash it for all that time, and if it gets wet, is it like a bathroom mat and it just starts turning colors if you don't take it out before it dries, or it just makes it stink. I've seen videos how women lose their hair, but personally, I've just, I went to grab someone's comb, and I was going to brush my hair, and the smell of it was horrible. And I know it's not all black women, okay, but the hairbrush. So if guys, if you start dating and you go in, you smell a brush, and if it stinks, then don't get mad when you can't wash the smell off your pillow. But then you have other women that tend to, have their hair appointments every 2 weeks, but still, but to each his own. I just think that they look like baby dolls with their natural hair, or it makes them it when you say something, but your mannerism, your behavior, or just your appearance says something else, you can't complain, because you may be projecting what you feel, and that may make you angry. But this is just my opinion, just Brown Becky with the good hair. And so it's unfair what's being done to these little girls. But
I agree.
did
I do that? I didn't click that. That was not me. I apologize for hanging up. What's the motherfucking deal? We got calling into the den this afternoon.
Hello?
Hola, ¿cómo está?
Hi, this is White Becky.
There's a lot of Beckys that we have this afternoon.
Oh no, this is the only Becky, because brown Beckys don't count, only white ones do.
That sounds like a terrible thing to say.
She was trying to culturally appropriate my racial slur of a common name, Becky.
So are you saying that Becky is almost as bad as the N-word?
Oh, it's as a white woman who drives an SUV with heated seats, it's worse to us. Have you seen the videos that we've had to endure of us lifting our Gucci-filled boots over that railing of oppression to help fight on the front lines for our fellow brown and black sisters. All this while trying to lift the boot of the evil white man off her neck.
Yes, the white man is just inherently evil.
White man's evil.
Yes, he's
horrible.
Yes. Mr. John, how are you doing this afternoon?
Mm-hmm. I am doing phenomenal, and that Bill Burr monologue on Saturday Night Live was phenomenal.
He was on Saturday Night Live this weekend?
Yeah, all the jokes I was just saying were his. That's what he was saying on the monologue.
No, I did not see that. Oh, shit, I got to check that out. I like Bill Burr.
He was like, oh, you white women are the worst. You sit here on the front lines of this Black Lives Matters movement talking about how white men are so evil and you're oppressed. But back in the day when you used to sleep with hook up with a black guy, if you got caught, you'd say he was raped and watch the black guy get killed. He's like, you better sit down and take your talk. He's like, you better sit down and take your talking to right next to me. It was hysterical.
But do you feel that white women are envious of black women?
Well, I'm not a white woman, so I can't speak for white women. Mm-hmm. But I will say what I have heard them say to me or around me. Mm-hmm. And not just white women, it's non-black women, brown women, white women, whatever you want to call it, even some black women. Mm-hmm. Honestly, nobody is envious of black women. Maybe some really insecure racist person, and even then, it's probably more of just a race thing than it is being envious of someone. I mean, the things I've heard, they don't. Again, I haven't spoken to every white person in the world, but what I've heard in conversations is they are nowhere near envious. I'm trying to avoid going into detail because I don't want to turn this into a bashing black woman session.
It's too late. It's already happened. The weave has been discussed, and we have begun the bashing.
What is there to be envious of? I guess let's go down the list. You can name something that you think is commonly thrown out there, and I'll tell you what I've heard non-black women saying.
I'm gonna be honest. The only thing that I always hear black women refer to is they go and get surgeries to have bodies like ours.
You mean like Black China, like Cardi B, who I know is not black, like Nicki Minaj, like K. Michelle? I mean, there's more black celebrities, bartenders, strippers that are doing that. I mean, the only white women that I can think of off the top of my head that do that is Iggy Azalea and the Kardashians.
Interesting.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's not really a white girl thing because most white guys don't really obsess over a humongously gigantic, cartoonish, posterior. That's usually a black thing, and not even just a black thing. It's more of a hood black thing. I have black friends who they can appreciate a big butt, but they don't really go crazy for it.
Okay. I could definitely. Who the fuck is calling a goddamn house phone? Yes, still have a house phone. Hold on one moment. Give me just a moment. Let's get it.
No problem.
Okay, there she got it.
It's your accountant calling, right?
Yeah, I wish. But okay, so yeah, the little guy. But yeah. So here's my thing, and I'm trying to figure it out. Let's throw some stuff out there, like you said. Because you stated a few facts, and you provided your sources.
To cut you off in regards to facts, so it's 85.5% of men in America, regardless of race, the general statistic, are not over the height of 6 feet tall. So 85.5% of men are under 6 feet tall. And as far as the obesity rates, I looked it up again. 54.8% of black women are considered obese, which is a BMI of over 30 in this particular study, and white women were at 37.9%. So black women were 44.6% fatter in this study than white women. white people in general over the age of 18 were 29.7% obese, and black people were 39.8% obese. Black people were 30% more obese than white people. And again, that's a BMI of over 30. And that comes from the National Center for Health Statistics.
So that would be a legitimate organization, you would say?
I would suppose. I mean, if you just Google, like, obesity rates by race in U.S., I mean, like, I guess there's a bunch of sites. I mean, there's Wikipedia, which is not really, like, my first stop, but they do have sources, so you can click on the citations and then go there. But there's a, you know, you could just do a random Google. I'm sure it'll take you somewhere.
Okay. Just making sure that, you know, the sources are heard so that it can be confirmed that these are facts. But you mentioned something that I found to be particularly interesting because, and I think a lot of women are conflicted these days, but it was the marriage rates, right? I think ultimately the goal, right, is to find a partner, a life partner, something like that. Most women, I think, is the goal. Men, I think, I guess you got a couple of different groups of men, different beliefs, and I think you got a few movements that are encouraging different behavior. But the discrepancy, do you still have those numbers off the top of your head? What those were? The difference between I think was it black women that were married versus white women that were married?
I don't think I ever quoted the rates for white people being married versus black, but I have heard various black women groups, YouTube channels, whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. I've heard them say that only 24. I like The View, like Lonnie Love and all them. I've heard the number 24% of black men are married, and out of that 24% of black men that are married, something like 85% of them are married to black women. Mm-hmm. And I remember, like, black women, a lot of black women were saying, like, because black men was trying to say, like, look, the majority of us marry black women, but then the black women were saying, yeah, but only 24% of y'all get married to begin with. Mm-hmm. And then out of that 24%, not even all of y'all married to black women. Mm-hmm. So I don't, that's what I've heard. I've never, like, done the research on it, though.
Okay. Where are we at? Let me see. There was
the National Center for Health Statistics. I'll say it a second time, but go ahead. That's the source for the obesity thing.
Mm-hmm. And there were some stats I was looking at. And I was actually saving this for another conversation. And so I may have gotten mixed up with something that you had mentioned, but it was something along those lines. Those numbers sound pretty close to what it was. But it was saying that you know, and things that may be envious. You know, marriage is a big thing for a lot of women. That up until 1970, black women were actually more likely to be married than white women. Until 1960, actually, black men were more likely to be married than white men. You know, black families were strong. So that's kind of went out the wayside. So that's not something that can be envious of because the numbers there are bad. You just cited the obesity numbers. I don't think that's something you can brag on. I mean, we can kind of. I don't know what the BMI of thick is, so I don't have that those official numbers in front of me. So.
Like I said, if you're 5'8" and 200 pounds, you're built like an NFL running back. Okay, there is no thick at 5'8", 200. There might be thick at 5'4", 140. Mm-hmm. You know, but there is no 5'8", 210, and you're thick. We went through this. There is such a thing as thick. A lot of people will always say that there's something a little bit better than they really are, just whether it's illusion, whether it's lying, whatever it is. It is.
Yeah, I can't find those doggone numbers I had. But again, so, I mean, is there anything in your mind that you feel, I mean, could you think of something? Or, I mean, will we probably be in agreement that right now black women are across the board, and we can always pick and choose, you know, the anomalies, the outliers. We understand it's not all. But across the board as a whole, the numbers are saying that white women are winning in comparison to black women in America.
I mean, if you're going to take it as an entire group, I guess you could say there's less harsh negative things said about white women than certain other groups. Mm-hmm. But I mean, you know, I always say this, like, even if, let's just say the group consists of 100 people, and 99 of them are trash. I'm not saying that's true, but let's just say 99% of them are trash, or 99 of them, and there's one good one. If you meet that one good one, you should treat that one good one as a good person. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we could sit here and say that as a group, which group does certain things at a higher rate. You know, fair enough, but we should really focus on treating everybody as an individual. That's why I would never date a woman who wears a weave, regardless of her race. But if I met a woman who didn't wear a weave, I would date her. I feel the same way about tattoos. Somebody does drugs, somebody has kids, or even worse, multiple kids from multiple men. Like, at the end of the day, it comes down to as an individual. And I think most people understand that, but I think some people who either don't want to or don't, and then they start raging and going berserk and thinking, oh, you're talking about all people, or like, oh, like this is what you think of us, and that's just not true. I think that's their own insecurities coming through as, you know, gaslighting and projection. You know, so, yeah. I mean, what is there to be envious of? Why would you be envious of a whole nother group? You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't even make any sense.
I agree. You know, I'm basing this again, like I say, off the premise of that white women do things to be like black women, and you know, to me that's.
But what do white women do to be like black people or black women?
The only thing that I was informed of was the body emulation, and I didn't think that was necessarily accurate.
Body emulation. So wait, first of all, white women these days are sick. Okay, not sick. Sick. You got to put a little Hebrew in it. They're sick these days. Okay, and as far as the whole like wearing weaves and all races of women do that, but most races of people put in hair that's similar to what their own natural hair looks like. And I, as an individual, don't date any woman who puts in fake hair in her head. I don't care about your race or what kind of hair it is. As far as the butt injections, like I said, all races of women are thick. I mean, I even saw an Asian woman with a booty the other day who was thick. I mean, even they're catching up.
Yes.
You know, the whole thing is like back in the 80s, especially with, you know, non-black women, it was extremely, like, bad to be, like, 5 pounds overweight. And once people started embracing a few extra pounds, all of a sudden other races and ethnicities of women started getting a little sick and getting some booty. I was watching yesterday and this morning some 80s rap music, like Run DMC, Rump Shaker, Rex and Effects, Third Bass. And I noticed Biz Markie, an old Biz Markie video, Vapors, and I started noticing all the women, regardless of their race, were very petite. They were all very slim, the black women, the white women, the Hispanic women. So none of them had booty. They were all just skinny. So, I mean, I know that's just, you know, like entertainment. They're going to put, I guess, a certain look. But my whole point is, you know, if you gain some weight, you're going to gain some in the right areas, you know, and if you exercise, you'll keep it in the right areas. I mean, there's nothing to be envious of any one particular race. I just don't see, like, black women will say, like, oh, me putting white people hair in my head doesn't mean I want to be white, but if a black woman goes out and gets lip injections, she wants to be black, but yet there's 350 million Slavic people in Europe that have full lips that are white. So it's just like, everyone is kind of like arguing about something that really doesn't make sense. They're kind of just, you know, I don't know, I guess just expressing their own opinions, trying to pass them off as facts, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, that's terrible, Heidi. You definitely need to get that checked out. Because you're definitely lacking some cakes. You're in a deficit. I thought, you know, I always heard squats were the trick, but it might not be the solution for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Well, Miss Bad Bougie, because here's my thing. I've noticed, you know, over the last couple of days that you've had some thoughts about some of the statements Mr. John makes. Would you like to call in? You guys have a pleasant discussion, because Mr. John's not in the Discord, you know. So if you guys,
yeah, I'll keep it extremely respectful.
Mr. John's a polite guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it. I'll be extreme. I'll keep it educated and respectable.
because I think it would be very interesting. Miss Bougie is an educated, very well thought out lady, and so I would like to, hear the premise in which she feels about some of these things. So if you would like to let me know, and I'll dial you up, and we can have a conversation. I think it would be intriguing.
Yeah, I just don't think there's really much to be envious of any particular group. There's desirable and undesirable traits in every group. Everyone's an individual. So I just think it's I think people who are offended when you talk about like a percentage of a group and try to like lie and say, oh, you're talking about everyone, blah blah blah. I just think they're just people who like to argue. They're not people who like to debate. They're not people who want to have a discussion. They just like to argue, and they will flip what you say or take the one thing that you say out of a whole story out of context and then argue about it because they're just programmed to argue because they're insecure probably, and they want to somehow find a reason to argue with you because they don't like you or to cover their insecurity. There's nothing to be envious really of any particular group as a group. You might be envious of a particular individual. So and I don't know. I'm sure there's a million things on your mind, Honcho, that you want to ask me.
No, just I hate fucking Heidi to the fullest extent of the law. Without it being illegal. But, and here's my thing. And ultimately, and I agree with you, that a lot of people are argumentative, especially when you say something that, they don't like or want to hear. And it can make it kind of difficult. But I think you got to look into why people say things, why various other groups may have a similar perspective, or people in certain groups have a similar perspective of you, even though they, may not know you. And then if people aren't necessarily targeting you directly, but maybe speaking on negative traits that you may possess, it's not an attack on you necessarily, but maybe you should look at it and see, okay, well, why are they saying this? Not necessarily my attachment to this belief or whatever, but why are they saying this? Okay, let me try to hear them out. Okay, this is their reasoning, this is the reason. Well, okay, maybe that doesn't make enough sense to me, and I still disagree. Or maybe they're saying something that makes sense. It doesn't seem like they're coming from a place of malice. It's not an attack. Why would they believe this? And it's up to you to hear the information and make a choice from there, and not let it impact you in a negative way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree, and I don't think that white women are envious of black women. I don't think. It's going to sound rude, but what is there to be envious of? I think I asked this already, but. Give me something, and I'll talk about it.
I don't honestly think there is. Like I say, it's a spin off of a statement that was made, and so I'm just kind of curious because, it's something I've heard more than one person say. So, and I'm just maybe I'm missing something myself, but there's nothing that I can think of. Again, in all major statistics that are of worth in almost anything, you're seeing white women have more success across the board. And it's not even just success, not just maybe financial, but we're talking about just family and fitness and multiple things. But again, if you are the outlier in the black community, you shouldn't be upset. One, you should probably be more proud of yourself that you haven't fallen in line with everybody else, that you aren't a statistic. And, instead of getting mad and upset, maybe look at why those others are people around you who may be, so.
Yeah, I just think it's difficult for people to accept the truth when the truth makes you look bad. I know us as men, we usually say, like, women can't handle the truth. We usually say that about them. And when it comes to certain things, women can't. And when it comes to certain things, men can't. So, that's probably never going to change. I guess it's just the way people are wired. So, people just need to understand that if it doesn't apply, let it fly. If you're talking about the group, it doesn't mean everyone within the group. It just try and be honest with yourself.
Yeah. I mean, in Baton Rouge, yeah, probably across the board, yeah. You know, but what does that mean to me as an individual? It's not something I get mad about, like, because the thing about that is I can't control what everybody else is doing, so I'm not going to get upset about it. But I can point it out. I can be aware. There's nothing wrong with that, and it made me feel absolutely no kind of way to say, yeah, they probably the white man across the board is, I'm sure, more successful than the black man. Hold on just a moment, Mister. I got to pause this for just a second.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you said that generally speaking, white men probably have more success if you're going to speak in general terms. But then when you start breaking it down as an individual level, you could sit here and say Robert F. Smith is a black man who's a billionaire and a successful Wall Street guy, and I'm little old me as a white guy. So there's going to be, if you treat people as an individual, you're going to see that, some people are better than others just on an individual level, regardless of race or whatever gender, you know. And then there's some black guy out there who's less fortunate than me, and I guess you could say I'm more successful than him. It goes on an individual level. Yes, and some people have a tough time accepting that. Who would that group be?
Well, I guess it helps that I put my sound back on so y'all can hear me. I was saying all kind of terrible things about you people in the chat. Y'all didn't hear any of it, so I'm sorry. I wish you guys would have. Y'all would probably hate me now. I said the worst things you've ever heard about Heidi, and it is what it is. So can't replay it. I apologize.
Yeah, I tried dancing around the topic a little bit. I don't want to be too bashful because,
Yeah,
I just feel like
the possibility. Oh, it could definitely. It could definitely go far left, and that's why I say I'm trying to allow the ladies to present an argument, a perspective, and maybe show or something that I'm not seeing, something that I'm missing, in general, not specific things, but in general. But yet I've kind of yet to see it, what things there are. Like nobody's pointed out the things in which they should be, envious or jealous or anything like that. So,
yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure. What is there to be envious about? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like if we're going to talk about as a group, what is there to be envious of? I'm looking at the chat. I'm waiting for if anyone can give Honcho and I a clue because we're kind of, I guess, stuck. We don't know what there to be envious of.
Yeah, the pizza would actually be. It's not a bad idea right now, Delta.
I mean,
Columbus today, pizza arrived. No, but I don't know. That's kind of what I'm like trying to figure out. That's what I would love to hear. I would love to find out. But I don't think that there is an answer. I don't think any of the ladies want to call in and share either.
Yes, everyone, just understand that be a great individual, and someone will see that and gravitate towards you as an individual. Have a high standard for yourself, and someone who appreciates that will hold you in high regard. Don't worry about what the rest of your group is doing because you're a representation of yourself.
Exactly. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I wish somebody would have said something so I could have went off, but
It ain't over yet, so hopefully, maybe somebody will say something and we can get something stimulated here.
and if I offended anyone, I'm welcome to call back in and have a debate, just as long as we keep it respectful.
Yes, respect goes a long way.
But I don't think anyone's gonna hold me to a debate.
When are you coming to the Discord, John? I'm gonna every time you call, I'm gonna ask until it happens.
I'm gonna be brutal. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
Soon. I don't know when, but I've been contemplating it, and I'm closer to yes than no. So it's gonna one of these days. I'm just gonna get in there and surprise everybody. It's gonna be soon.
All right. Well, we'll be looking forward to it, Mr. John.
If it makes you feel any better, I have not joined anyone else's Discord.
Well, that makes me feel top notch. I feel extremely special that you're holding out the Discord virginity for the den.
Yes. I just want to say that Just Sarah, I believe that's AKA Brown Becky, I believe. She says that she envies me because my sunglasses make me look like a hitman, and she can't rock those. And Bandit Bougie says she would never speak to a person who refers to black people as niggers, but yet you've been talking to me through the whole chat room pretty much this whole time I've been on the phone. Okay, I guess you'll type to one, but you won't talk to him over the phone. That's cool. You do you.
Is though, so it's a general statement that was made, but what about black people that refer to other black people as niggas?
I know.
That would
That's
fall under that umbrella, right?
Yeah. I don't speak to women who hold me to a different standard than anyone of another race because I believe in equality.
Terrible.
But Honcho, I've been dragging out this phone call. I love you. I love everyone in the den. God bless you all. Have a great day. Peace.
All right, Mr. John. Appreciate you calling. Have a good afternoon, sir. Appreciate the love, Mr. Culture. So if you live with the less of it, I don't know if the thing is playing. So y'all got to pardon me. Like if it's the sound is going off or not, I don't know because I can't. It stopped a while back. It says if you live with the less of MLK, you will not identify with black issues or any racist issues. Proud to be a part of the den. I've stayed here for almost 2 years because Honcho is a great role model for how a man should act. I'm a terrible role model. Like I agree with like 67% of that statement. Oh man, like 67% of that statement. I'm plenty. I don't want to be a role model like me. I'm terrible to follow. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling in to the den this afternoon?
What's going on, bro? What's Wink?
No, Wink, what's on your mind this afternoon, sir?
I don't. As far as the topic goes, I don't think so. For what reason would they have to be envious? That's what I would like to know. I would really like to hear, some of what black women would think of why they would believe that white women would be envious of them. I'd want to know that more than the actual reason. You know what I'm saying? Because I see no reason why that would be a factor when, hell, so many black women believe that white women are just out here taking their man. So if they can have your man, they can procreate and they can build a legacy for you mixed race children. What do they need to be envious of you for? That's kind of my ideology and how it is starting out, because this is how I'm looking at it. I'm like, well, I mean, I hear so many black women complain about white women, but in turn, I never hear the reverse. I never outwardly hear white women complain about black women really ever. If they do, it's really on an individual basis of an encounter that they may have had with somebody who may have mistaken. And I'm not taking up for white women because I don't want it to sound like that to black women, because, we in the den and people can take shit the wrong way. So that's really where I'm coming from it. Maybe I'm just not around in the right circles. Maybe I'm not on social media seeing the right things and shit like that. But on a personal level, just by my own experience, I see way more black women not so much emulating, but when in terms of what America has deemed as the beauty standards, if you will, you can see way more black women, wearing like longer, wanting to have longer hair. Well, not the fact that if you have naturally long hair, there's nothing wrong with that. And even if you want to switch it up, I don't even see, like, if you want to wear a wig or something like that, ain't nothing wrong with that. I can understand, you just may want to switch it up. It makes you feel a certain kind of way. So women are entitled to feel that way about themselves if it's going to make them feel good, because if you're looking good, you're looking good. All of that excess, her hair and she gotta do a certain thing, man. As long as it fits the way that your facial profile looks, I don't have an issue with it. If you're just out here looking weak, I'm gonna tell you about it. But for myself, I see no situation where a white woman would have to envy black women because of their position of where they've been in America for so long. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, they've been on this plateau, not necessarily by myself, but by so many others that they're deemed as, easier to get along with.
I cut you off here, but I see Miss Deborah and Miss Inez saying, Inez says, if you were a woman, you would hear and understand a whole lot more on the outside. I said, you're on the outside looking in as a man. Well, this is why we're having this conversation. And
I'm only going to speak on it as a man. I don't want to speak in a woman fashion. I can only say it exactly the way I'm intending the conversation. I mean, we can talk about it further in the Discord, and you can enlighten me, and I'm not negating your experience on how you may feel. And I don't want that to get lost in the translation of what I'm saying. I'm not discounting the way black women feel. I'm just saying from my own set of eyes and my own set of ears and what I've seen and heard, that this isn't even really an issue, because I don't see white women making so many topics. And when you look at a video, I don't see an abundance of white women making videos about black women.
Let me cut off a couple of more things real quick. And this is what we're asking Miss Inez and Miss Deborah. Like, explain to us. This is what the whole purpose of the den is. So if you are privy to the information and y'all know the answer to the question, we would
don't hold it back for yourself.
The floor is open for the women. And then Miss Bad and Bougie, you say you never hear black women say anything about white women, but a conversation we had a couple of days back, you specifically went into a mention about a white woman in your board meeting.
In our meeting,
in reference to to hair and nails and things like that. So like that was not even a part of the conversation. So that's like one example of where it happened. So it does happen quite often, because every time you talk about hair or weave extension thing, it immediately comes up about.
And quick question, Honcho. How many women callers have came in and talked about the discussion today so far, off the top of your head? How many women have actually called in to negate what's being said?
One, and it was Brown Becky.
Okay then. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. That's what I thought. Oh, okay. You see, it's real funny to have all of this, and it's not that it's even coming off as no bad energy, because everybody's entitled to their opinion, and we all friends in the thing. But it's funny how you have everything saying that the line is open to everybody. Why are more men coming out speaking on their experience of what they've seen from this own situation than women who are being affected by what we're talking about? That makes no sense to me, so, we want to hear what you guys are really talking about, your own personal experiences. In what way is it envy, or people or white women capitalizing on what black women have created? Because let's be quite frank, it's not like you copyrighting any of the shit that you come out with. The way that you are always going to be what I deem as the most copied woman, because we are fashionable. We are this. We're a lot of things. Our women are a lot of things. They do a lot of great things, but much more than the way that they look and the way that they act. Which sometimes I've heard women, white women, you can see that, like when you've seen a black woman like in an office space, and the way that she can talk versus the way that she admires the fact that someone like her is able to speak in a certain way, and it motivates her to behave in a certain way. But is that detrimental, or is that really helping the situation? So I'm not speaking for women. I'm not telling women how to feel because, you know, that type of conversation can end up coming in, and I don't ever want it to be like I'm speaking for women. I'm not speaking for anybody. But it's just one of those things where, you know, it's more conversations where you'll hear black women speaking as a white woman. You know, you have the whole, oh, but white women are taking, you can't take somebody who don't want you. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a conversation in itself about black men and white women. You know, nobody cares about when black women want to be with white men because you have the right to do so. Mm-hmm. If that's an option that you chose, who am I to say for you not to see, to seek happiness? Could care less. I don't want the conversation to get all over the place, but that's a conversation that we could soon have as well. But you know, I don't have a whole lot to really add to the conversation because I really want all of the women who have something to say in the chat, go ahead and dial that number, 855-948-0369. And you can go ahead and you can put all this to rest and enlighten some of the men on how you feel about the situation. But is it going to be relegated to just feelings, or is it going to be a fact of life? That's what I'd like to know. That's my call, Honcho. I'm going to get back in the den, and we're going to end up having another good conversation when we get into the Discord, bro.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely, as always. Mr. Wake, I appreciate your call, sir.
Already. Everybody shout out to the gen, and John, I'm going to go back and go listen to your call, because I just heard you get on there, and I know you was talking some good shit, and you probably rubbed somebody wrong again, but, you know, it is what it is.
All right. I appreciate it, sir. I don't think the ladies even want to call in today. Hold on one second. We'll put you on hold just a moment. No, Heidi, I definitely meant your, as in possession, your lower half. And then, yeah. I mean, like I said, the lines are here. You know, we have access. We can have these conversations. We'll just keep it going. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this afternoon?
Oh, Honcho, what's up? It's been a minute since I called in.
Yes. Mr. Dakota. I'm actually glad that you called in because Mr. Dakota, for those of you who know, is a proud defender of the black woman.
You're damn right.
Okay. And so I'd like to know your views on this topic today. It should be very interesting.
I don't think it's an envious situation, but more like a subtle jealousy. And what I mean by that is black women can do shit and make anything look good. And I have to credit to what Wick said. We are the most copied people on the planet. It's just a fact. If you go back to and look at what the fuck is that MMA fighter name? The one that got her ass whooped one time and quit the whole fucking sport.
About Ronda Rousey?
Yeah, her. Mm-hmm. She wore braids one fucking time, and it was all over the fucking internet. This and she's setting this new trend that. But when black women did it, it was called ghetto. Your hair is not conforming to dress code at work. It was all kind of bullshit for black women. Mm-hmm. But I will say this. Black women need to stop giving a fuck about what other people, or I should say what other races of women think, feel, or do. Because they're attacking us from the inside out. They will use black women to attack black men. And the black women get caught up in this feminist fucking movement and like, oh, I'm empowered by this shit, I'm empowered by that shit, and then they get to protecting the trash like one of my fellow den mates said. Don't protect trash. Like, my thing is this. If you see a hoe, call that hoe out. Point blank, period. Fuck the bullshit. If she's a hoe, call that hoe out. You check her ass before the world does. And that's what our people need to start doing. Stop letting females get away with like doing shit like selling their baby's food stamps. If you see that shit, she needs to have her ass full. Point blank, period. black women will protect their trash because they feel like we're harping on the bad. No, I am a proud defender of the black woman. I will go toe to toe with any. There's a guy in the den right now that me and him don't get along. I ain't gonna say no names, but we all know who he is. Because I felt like he was dogging black women. So don't ever get it twisted to think I'm just harping on black women's flaws, because I think black women have something no other one race of woman will ever have. It's a certain magic about them. It's a certain elegance about black women that I fucking love. I've dated every other race. I can't find it in any other race of women but black women. It's I don't know what it is. It's certain, like I said, it's a certain magic. They walk with a certain swag. They walk with a certain, when they know they the shit, they know they the shit. And to credit again, Wink, his wife came in there with the confidence, came in the den Discord. She came in the den Discord with a confidence that everybody just stopped and listened. We wanted to hear what she said. We wanted to hear what her opinion was. Every other race of women don't have that, and I'm not saying nothing bad about any other race of women if that's what you think. Except that musty hoe that talked about black women. Fuck that bitch. Anyway, it's just I don't think white women are jealous. Are envious of black women, because I don't see the point. But I do think it's a subtle jealousy, because it's certain shit that black women can do that other women can't do. Like, a black woman can stretch a dollar like no other. I watch my moms do it. I watch my aunts do it. I know a little white lady down the street, like, bitch had $2,000 and didn't know what the fuck to do with it for 2 hours. So that's just from my experience, I don't really have much to add on the situation. I just think it's a subtle jealousy, not so much of black women, other races of women, particularly white women, have something to feel threatened by. Because I don't think they feel threatened by black women at all. I just think it's certain shit they would want to be able to do that they can't do, like black women. But envious, I don't think they're envious at all.
Okay. So you say it's more of an intangible thing that black women have about them, maybe an aura or the personality trait that they have that you feel can be emulated by other races.
No, I don't feel like other women have what black women have, and it's like you said, an intangible, a characteristic. I don't know what it is about black women. They just have. You know it when you see it. You don't know what it is, but you know it's there.
And again, bad bougie. If I see a white woman wearing fake dreads, I'm going to talk about it because it looks terrible. I talk about a lot of white people's dreads. It looks terrible. I talk about Asian people with it. I'm talking about anybody. If it looks ridiculous, it fucking looks ridiculous. Like, and again, we're pointing out to see what the white. You just said you don't care what white women are doing and what other people are doing, but now you're making reference to the white people again. You see the white women are wearing cornrows and fake dreads and all that, but you just said nobody cares about them. Miss Bad and Bougie. And yes, I'm going to keep it funky until you call in. Okay,
and see, hold on, before I go, I've heard Miss Bad and Bougie speak. I really have, and I think she's a very intelligent woman. I think she's one of them black women that can't get the hell out of her own way. And what I mean by that, and before you take it personal, we can debate this in the Discord. I don't give a damn. Whatever. You harp on shit that doesn't affect you. Why do you care that other races of women want dreads? Yes, the shit looks terrible. Who gives a fuck? That's them. Who cares? Like, black women need to stop doing that shit. Like, who cares what the fuck? Because white women ain't worried about what the fuck y'all doing. or what? You don't hear white women saying, "Oh, that bitch a sellout because she with that nigga." You don't hear shit like that. And if you do, they say it behind closed doors, and you just happen to hear the shit. Like, black women need to stop worrying about other races and what other women of other communities are doing, and start focusing on bettering themselves. Like I said, stop protecting the trash, dog them hoes out like they supposed to be dogged out, and keep it pushing. Because the reason why black women are looked at such a low standard, especially now, is because you got bitches talking about, oh yeah, I feel liberated when I hear Cardi B talking about popping pussy. What? First of all, Cardi B ain't even black. Fuck that hoe. But you got black women out here wanting to be Meg Thee Stallions and fucking Cardi B, and them hoes ain't doing shit but selling you words on a fucking piece of paper. Oh, this shit sounds good. Let me write this shit down and say it in the song and watch these dumb hoes do it. That's what happens to our women. And us as black men need to stop letting our women fall down that fucking rabbit hole. But that's all I got.
All right, Mr. Dakota. Well, I agree. We as across the board, we definitely need to uplift and uphold the quality of women within our community. But just like the trash niggas, the trash bitches need to go with them. We need to ostracize them. But I definitely agree with what you're talking about there, sir.
All right, Honcho, that's all I had.
All right,
Peace
sir.
out.
All right, catch you in the Discord, man.
All right.
We got about 15 minutes left before we wind down, before we wrap it up. And I was wanting to give, ladies an opportunity, a chance to call in, but the only lady who seemed to want to call in was Miss Brown Becky. I don't know, yeah. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this afternoon?
Bad and bougie.
Good afternoon, Miss Bad and Bougie. How are you this afternoon?
I'm great. I'm just enjoying your show.
It doesn't seem like you're enjoying it so much. Seems like you have some issues with some of the things that have been said.
I want to ask you a question. You just made a comment about me commenting on the photos that you put up earlier in your show.
Mm-hmm.
You said, well, you shouldn't worry about what white women's doing. Isn't that the commentary that you putting out for us to comment on?
But didn't you just say that you're not concerned, with white women?
Right, but
white people?
I'm not. I don't think about what white women are doing on a daily basis. But the topic of your show, and you put up photos for us to look at, right? So
yes,
what's wrong with me making a comment about
There's
it?
nothing making a comment about the photos. That's absolutely welcome and encouraged. That's the reason why I did it.
So it
But
doesn't
you were
mean
commenting.
that I care or don't care. It's just that this is what the topic is about today, so I'm talking about the topic.
Okay. How many white women in those photos had dreads or cornrows?
That was my point. You only put up uncomplimentary pictures of black women, but you didn't put up any of, let's just say, if we're going to do an even thing, and it's your show, and you're going to present it the way you want, but then we need to also put up pictures of what doesn't look natural with white women. It doesn't look natural for white women to be wearing cornrows. It doesn't look natural for them to be wearing dreads. But you know what I'm saying? So if the topic is what doesn't look natural, then why wouldn't we do what doesn't look natural on both sides?
Well, the topic isn't, necessarily what doesn't look natural. It was about putting extensions in. So can a white woman get dreads without extensions?
I'm talking about what's very popular right now. I don't know if you know, but it's all over TV, whatever. What's very popular right now is a lot of women, white, black, Hispanic, whatever, are wearing the add-in hair that looks like dread. That's very popular, and it's cute. You know what I'm saying? So all women of different races are doing that. So if we're giving examples of what doesn't look natural, then why wouldn't we give it on both sides, is all I was saying. And if you're putting that up there, it's just me giving my opinion. I don't feel like people should get so offended by bad and bougie. Like, I'm just saying how I feel. Can I not give an opinion?
You're more than welcome. Your opinion is appreciated. And, you know, we definitely want to hear it. But all I'm saying is that I think it's being taken out of context because, again, it was about extensions and things like that. And so, again, if we're talking about everybody's getting a fake dreadlock, it looks terrible on everybody. I think it's a terrible hairstyle. I hate it personally. And I definitely, it'd be tough for me to have a conversation with a woman with those in her head. Like on some real shit. And that's simply because I've actually taken the time and the journey to grow my own shit out. Like, I have no respect for that.
Like, kind of like an insult.
Yeah, like, you know, to me, it's fucking, it just looks like a joke. And again, so, like, especially.
Yeah, you know, my son is growing dreads, too, and he doesn't like it because, you know, guys do it now. Because I was telling him in the shop, when I was in the shop, there was black guys, that were making their dreads longer. So they were getting extensions. And my son was like, I've been growing my shit for 4 years. Like, I hate when niggas go in there and get fake dreads, you know. And it's kind of obvious. You can tell if you're a real dread wearer. You can tell, you know. So my son's like, them niggas, you know, he don't like it. So I get it. I do get it. But I'm just saying that's what I would, you know, I mean, if we're going to talk about people having extensions that don't look natural, like all the Caucasian women you put up there, they were nice looking, you know, before and after, and they were wearing realistic looking weaves, right? So your point was, but every time you put up a black woman, you put up this bald headed woman with this helmet look, you know what I'm saying? You didn't put up something where, you know, like, for example, me, my hair is down to my shoulders, but I wear a weave. I also wear my real hair. So you didn't put up a woman like me that has good natural hair and then a weave like you did the white women. See what I'm saying? So it's like, if you're going to put up examples, in my view, it should be something equal. Like, you don't put up a helmet looking, that shit was obviously ghetto. Nobody, you know, that's decent as a black woman wears weaves like that. That is it. She probably paid $35 for that. That looks a mess. You know what I'm saying? So if you're going to put up nice-looking white women before and after, put up nice-looking black women before or after. That's all I'm saying.
What is your definition of natural black hair?
I think we come in all different shapes and sizes. So I'm going to figure out how to put my daughter's picture up, okay? My daughter has modeled for many years. And a lot of the time she gets mixed race roles because her hair is literally past her bra strap, it's curly, it's black. So you know what I'm saying? My hair is not like that, but it's still curly. You know what I'm saying? Then we have more kinky hair. It's all beautiful. It's all black. So there's no one texture of black hair. And that's what I kind of irritates me when you guys act like all black hair is kinky.
Okay, so there's multiple variations
of hair is that. It's not.
There's multiple variations of black hair. What percentage would you say of black people have naturally occurring straight black hair with no chemical alterations or treatments done to it?
I'm not going down this rabbit hole. I just said
because it's a very small percentage.
You're going to forget. And what natural percentage have white women have dreads? We already went.
But what? Look, we can dissolve this argument very quickly. Okay. It's super simple. Okay, so first we're talking about a smaller percentage of white women who wear extensions, and then we're talking about white women. Like, how many white women do you see that are really wearing dreads? Like, other than the ones you go and see on television and celebrities, like in your day-to-day life, as you go out every day, do your job, you know, be out about around town, go out in the evenings, do whatever you do. How many white women do you see with dreadlocks on every day? What would you average the number to be?
Not a lot. But
you don't see one every day.
How many?
I guarantee you don't see a white woman with dreadlocks every day.
No, I don't.
Okay, so.
But how many black women do you see with that ugly ass helmet shit you put up?
Every day. They're all over the place.
Oh, wow.
Go anywhere.
Okay,
anywhere. Everybody weave ain't what do they call it? Everybody ain't slaying, boo-boo. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't going down for everybody. It's a lot of rough motherfuckers out here. I used to date a chick a while back who used to do hair, and I used to see how that process would go. And I'm like, wow, this is neat and crafty and efficient, but nah, this ain't it. And once I learned that shit, because I didn't know that shit, because nobody in my family wears weave like that. The only woman in my family that wears weave is the darkest woman in my family on my mother's side. On my father's side, completely different animal. So we're not even going to get into that. So like that weave thing, like I didn't comprehend, I didn't understand. First time I saw a track, I thought somebody was sick. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. Like it was all
Oh my
confusing
God.
to me. And so then once
It.
I started learning all that shit and seeing what they want, like that's when I started getting more and more disdain for the shit. I'm like, oh, this is what you're doing. Like you got real hair, that's your hair, and you go and throw some of this other shit. Like it just seems like clownery. It's the same process that a person would to put on a fucking Bozo the Clown outfit. Like you're putting on all this stuff, like, and that's what it bothers me. It's like you're covering up who you are, your
I
natural
can tell
beauty.
it bothers you.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
can tell.
like who you
But
are.
you know what? And then I wanted to just say something else with regard to the person that said, "Oh my God," and I smelled her brush and it stank. Okay, well listen, we can't help it if you around stank hoes. Okay, Black women's brushes do not stink. I'm not even comfortable with you putting that out there. That's like an insult. Okay, if you go to Skid Row, yes, bitches gonna stink. Okay, but the normal Black woman's brush does not stink. So just stop with that. That's just utterly insultful and that's ridiculous. Okay, yes, if you're hanging around ghetto ass bitches who don't wash their hair or wash their brush, then just say that's who you hanging around. That's the type of people you know. But if you come to my house or the normal, everyday American Black woman's houses, no, our brushes do not stink. Our hair does not stink. And I find it as an insult that you people getting up saying it like it's, and everybody has a right to their opinion, just like I do. But it's an insult for you to sit up and act like that's a normal Black woman thing for her brush to stink. Are you kidding me? That's crazy.
But did she say it was a normal thing, or did she just give an example of an incident that she was involved in?
She talked about Black women and a Black woman that, I don't know, she knew that, you know what I'm saying, they brushes stink. Like, really? Come on now.
But,
I mean, it's some things that we can say, and I'm willing to accept about Black women. You know what I'm saying? We have our faults. All women have their faults. But to just be putting out there that our brushes stink and our hair stink and we no, that's not the case. And that's not even the case for the majority of Black women. So, and just like our resident, I ain't even gonna say it. Anyway, what John said, oh yeah, and all according to the
whoa, go back. I mean, this is the Den. Opinions uncensored, the best conversation on the internet. What were you going to say initially?
I was just going to say that our resident racist, and that's why when you said would I come up and talk to, I would never talk to any person that refers to me as a nigger. I would never talk to them. That's never going to happen.
So you
I
have
would
no friends that ever addressed you as my nigger?
Ever be on panel with anyone that refers to Black people as niggers. We came too far, and we're not going to do that. But anyway, what he said with regard to the weight thing, okay? So, yes, because I look at that all the time, too. You know what I'm saying? Out of the many facts that are not facts that he states, I think the facts that he stated with regard to the weight thing are true. Because when I look at it, I'm 5'8". I weigh 160 pounds, normally 150. Corona, I done put on some weight. But so according to that BMI index, I'm overweight. I wear a size 7. How many Black people in the audience can say, yeah, if you a size 7, you obese? No, that's not, even down to when I had my children. Every time we come in, they would be like, well, according to the BMI index, your son is a little taller than he should be, a little more weight than he should be, right? But according to Black people, like, he's normal. You know what I'm saying? My kids were never fat. You know what I'm saying? So that BMI index, if you look at the history of it, it's built off of white people's height, weight, and what they should be. Even own doctor would tell me, because I'm like, is there some type of, because I'm serious about my weight. I don't want to be over 150. So I asked my doctor, I was like, is there something I can take to lose weight or whatever? She was like, for what? And I'm like, just because I'm a little, she's like, no. You, for your age and, your race and your height, you're right where you need to be. So
What kind of doctor do you have?
I go to a couple of different doctors. I have an OBGYN. I also have a doctor that handles like my asthma and stuff like that because I have asthma.
Okay. So the one who made that statement, what
my OBGYN.
Yeah, okay. It's a female?
She's a female, and she's a Hispanic woman, yeah.
Okay. Is she a plus-size Hispanic woman?
No, actually, she's really small. She's a petite little thing. She's maybe 5'4", and she's super thin. And we talked about it because she was like, at your age, women start to just put on more weight. And I was like, well, I don't want to put on more weight. What do I got to do? She's like, basically, the best thing for you to do is just exercise more. And I'm an exercise kind of junkie because, my husband and I exercise every morning. So I was like, damn, I don't know if I can exercise more than I already do. And she was like, that's the only thing. She was like, because I don't want you to take anything because for a black woman of your age, 5'8", 160 pounds is not overweight. She was like, so if you want to lose more weight, it's a personal choice, but I don't want you taking anything.
Okay. So maybe the description itself isn't accurate according to, your beliefs. But wouldn't it still be saying that black people as a whole, or a large percent of black people, are on the higher end of the spectrum of obesity?
I don't know. I couldn't say because I don't see that black women. I don't know. Let me just say that I don't know. I really couldn't tell you, but I know that if you look it up right now on a BMI index, there, if you say 5'8", 160 pounds, it's going to say I'm overweight. Mm-hmm. But medical professionals say I'm not overweight. Mm-hmm. So, and like I said, it goes from even children, infants. When you bring a black child in and they're a little bit taller or they're a little bit more weight than the BMI index, the pediatrician is going to be like, yeah, that's expected. So, he can sit up and quote so according to him, I'm obese. And I don't know if anybody's ever seen my picture or went to my page. Clearly, I'm nowhere near.
You are pretty fat. But, and I agree that, your BMI probably is pretty high. 5'8", 160 sounds huge.
I'm huge.
Somebody get this lard ass off the phone. But no, seriously. But what I'm saying is that even though that it's higher on the higher end of it, with more black people being on the higher, would that signal that it's probably more likely that there are more obese black folks in America?
I can't speak on that because I don't know. I honestly don't know. But what I will say is that as women, we do need to watch out for our weight, especially as, we get older, because it turns into, and the reason why I'm into my weight because I got to stay a certain size to please my man. I ain't gonna lie. But why we need to be concerned about our weight is health issues, because the more your weight goes up, you get diabetes, you get, and I don't want to get none of that. So I don't want to be on medications and all that. So yes, we as women, as black women, we do need to watch our weight, but it's not because we're looking disgusting or whatever. Like I said, do I look disgusting? I'm 160, but do I want my weight? Do I want to be 150? Yes, I do. It largely has to do, yes, with physical appearance, but it also has to do with that's not healthy for me. My heart and everything suffers when I gain too much weight. So yes, as women, as black women, we do need to be more concerned about our weight, not just, but some of us, we carry, we got the thick look and we're perfectly healthy. So if you're healthy and your doctor says you're healthy, that's all that matters.
And you said
it's not about
160, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So your BMI is 24.3. and that falls under the normal weight range. Overweight.
No,
Overweight starts at 25. 25 through 29.9 is overweight. And obesity is a BMI of 30 or greater. And that's why I inquired if it was overweight or obese. And obese is a different thing. And that's what we're really talking about, health concerns. Overweight, I think, because here's the thing. Even when I was younger and I was more athletic, I did the BMI thing, and I was also told the same thing. So I agree with you there that it's not an end-all, be-all. It's not 100% accurate. If you have, more muscle, then it's going to be slightly off. It's going to say that you're overweight when you're not. But most motherfuckers, you and I know, are not in shape. A good chunk of the country, and we're talking about all races, are having a difficult time. So with that being said, and we're talking about the obesity percentage, not just the overweight percentage, but the obesity percentage, is that not concerning?
Yeah, it is. Especially now with COVID and stuff, because the risk factors, if you're overweight, if you have a heart condition, if you have high blood pressure, if you have diabetes, all those things are the difference between you living and dying. So, yes, I'm not saying that it's not a concern, but I just feel like, and, everybody can hate me on this channel for speaking up for Black women, but that's not going to stop, okay? So if you guys think you can threaten to slap me and all that, and I'm going to stop speaking up for Black women, that's never going to change. So you can say whatever you want to, because I'm not the type to be bullied, okay? So when it comes to speaking up for Black women, no, I'm not going to let somebody come on here and say Black women's brushes stink and Black women is this and that. No, I'm never going to let that shit. So you guys can hate me as much as you want, but if it comes down to defending Black women, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
No one hates you. But I do have a question, though, because I think of all the callers today, you may have the best perspective on this question, if you wouldn't mind answering it.
Okay. What is it?
What is it that white women envy about Black women?
I don't know. I was confused by the whole, that's why I was, I need to stop dialing that number, because I wanted to purposely stay off, and I wanted to hear what the answers would be, because I don't see really why white women would be jealous of us. I mean, we're, like John said, we're the lowest of the low. We're the most undesirable. We're the this. So I was really interested in seeing what I wanted to, like, I really, really wanted white women to call in and tell us, like, what, I mean, you know what I'm saying? What I want to know too. I have no clue of what we would be jealous of them about, or what they would be jealous of us about. I don't know. That's the whole purpose of me sticking in and hearing all the Black woman bashing, because I really wanted I really wanted somebody to call in and say the answer to that, because that I'm baffled, and I have opinions on a lot of stuff, but I have no clue. I don't know. We don't, like, they have no reason to be jealous of us, right? We're the lowest of the low, according to John. So why would they be? You know what I'm saying? Like, what? I don't know. I'm confused.
Okay. So well, maybe you didn't care for that statement too much. Well, would you say that Black women are winning in comparison to white women?
Like I said, I don't know what the whole topic is about. Like, I don't, white women, first of all, they haven't, okay, this is crazy, because we all should know this. You can't put us on the same comparison, because we don't come from the same place, okay? My great-grandmother was in slavery, okay? So to compare myself to the white woman who's never been enslaved, who always had the right to vote, who always had this, you know what I'm saying, who always had all these things, to compare me to her, to me, is like, what are we doing? What are we comparing? Because white women have so many more privileges that over centuries have not had. So to me, we can't compare the two. You know what I'm saying? Where we are right now is, I mean, I hope we will, get further, but where we are right now, we're making our way. We're starting more ever are getting college educations, more black women than ever are in the business field. So we're making our way. So, no, I don't feel like white women should be jealous of us about anything. They don't have nothing to be. They've had everything. They're the privileged. We are not. We're making our way up the ladder. So I don't feel they have nothing to be jealous of us. I mean, for us to, vice versa. Either way, it's no comparison to me. So I don't. That's why I really wanted more white women, like you said, to call in and say, like, why. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't have no reason to be jealous of us. They have everything. We're struggling to get what we get. So they have no reason to be jealous of us at all, in my eyes.
Okay.
I mean, as far as when we speak on the black men who go over we don't care about that. I'm going to just be honest with you. We don't care about that. Black women, like, I could care less what black men go be with white women. That shit does not. You love who you love. You know what I'm saying? My son is actually with a Hispanic woman. Do I think like, oh my God, why didn't you get? No, he fell in love with his high school sweetheart. That's who he's with. Is he down in all black women because of that? No, he just happened to fall in love with a Hispanic woman. So to me, I don't like when y'all say, oh, the white women is taking our men. No, they not. White,
but only black women say that. No man is saying that. Only black women say that. Like, do you know that right now?
Right, that's what I'm saying. I'm speaking of women.
Oh, okay.
Like when y'all speak of like we mad because the white woman is taking our man. No, we're not. That shit doesn't. Nowadays, I mean, to me, I feel like in the next generation, it's gonna be mostly mixed people because. Nowadays, people are unless you're ignorant, you know what I'm saying? You're like John calling people niggers and shit. White and black people, Mexican, Hispanic, and all that, we're no longer like, you love who you love. You fall in love. That's what it is.
Miss Bad Booty. Okay. So, and I agree. You know, hey, you love who you love. It is what it is. But you know that there are black women.
But what I'm saying is y'all keep putting up this stereotype like we so mad when a black man goes.
Man, I don't, Miss Bad, what you got to understand is I don't say anything. All the arguments that I'm having have come from statements that I have personally heard from black women. Not me just
right, but I'm saying for the majority, we're not worried about if I don't get up and worry about like I mean, I remember because when my ex-husband, when I was with my ex-husband, he was playing for the NFL and they the question used to always come up, are y'all concerned because a lot of the athletes, turn to white women or non-black women? And we like, we don't give a damn. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you guys are making it more than what it is. Like, we really don't care. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day...
I'm going to disagree with you, and this is why I'm going to disagree with you. Okay, you are a married woman, right?
Yeah.
You're already in the minority, so you're no longer included in the conversation. Because this conversation is being had by the majority of black women who the majority of them are not married. And that is an additional excuse that they can use to justify why they're not married instead of doing things that would be more appealing to attract a man. That's just another excuse that they throw in the bucket. Oh, well, it's all the white women. So you would not be privy to use this because, again, like I said, you're not in the same situation as them. You've been married the majority of the time. Most women, most black women probably never will be. And that's the justification that a lot of them who want to be, who don't want to make the other necessary changes, use. So you will see it differently because you're not in that same position.
Right, but what I'm saying is what I think a lot of people, what you guys do, a lot of people on your panel is get up and say, well, this is the opinion of black women as a whole. No, it's not. Yeah, there may be some bitter-ass black women that sit up and worry about that kind of shit, but I'm saying as a most of a whole, the black men, okay, I'm going to just say this bluntly, and I hope, well, people already hate me on this thing, so I don't care. The majority of okay, I don't know. I don't want to say this.
Say it.
Because you know what? You say stuff on the internet, it stays forever.
No, say this.
Okay. But the majority of the... Oh, my God. how do I say this? Let me think. Let me just say this correctly.
Well, you're supposed to be raw. This ain't you ain't sounding raw right now. Look, hey, raw is uncut. Let that shit flow. You don't cut the filter off. Let that shit go.
Okay, I'm just gonna say the majority of the black women that would be sitting up complaining about that are probably black women that probably have a hard time getting black men too. You know what I'm saying? That most of us who is about our business, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And you know, we ain't like we get attraction from everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So we ain't worried about if this guy, you know what I'm saying? Like if he want a white woman and he thinks white women are better than us.
Miss Bad Bougie, you know you I like you, and this is why. Because do you realize you struggled for a moment to make a statement that you should have had no issue.
What I wanted to say.
Exactly.
I still didn't say what I wanted to say.
Exactly. And you should. That's the problem that we have. That you and I, when we fuss, that's the problem. You are unwilling to say certain things that you know are a fact, and you just don't want to believe. Like, it's okay if you know that this shit don't apply to you. You just said it. These women are probably like this. I get attention from everybody. So you're not like those women, Bad and Bougie.
Okay, but what
Stop associating yourself. No, I'm telling you, because you're adding unnecessary stress to your life. It's not going to impact my life, anybody else. You're adding unnecessary by associating yourself with you. It's okay to be better than some people. You don't want to think like that. No, you don't want to think like that. But it's true. And what you just said, like watching you just kind of, and you still didn't even want to go all out and say it. You didn't say anything ruthless or that wrong. Like you were about to state legitimate facts. They're probably undesirable, not only to black men, but to people as a whole. And that's still putting it nicely. And you had to hesitate to say that. It's okay. Except you being who you are. What? Huh?
Don't put words in my mouth.
You know that's what you wanted. That was still a night. Like that's what I'm saying. And I got two other things. Then we're gonna get ready to wrap it up because I got a slide. We're gonna slide to Discord. Hopefully you'll care to join us. Did you ever follow up with your daughter about the twerking question?
Yeah, I texted you in the chat the same thing. She said, "Yeah, Mom, of course."
So when you got that answer, how did you feel?
I mean, in their 20s, that's what they do at clubs. So I ain't mad. Like, whatever. Like, is she half dressed doing it on a nigga? No. So, like, if that's what it is, that's what it is. I ain't mad at her. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, it's part of the culture now. Now, would me at my age be twerking? No, that's no. You know what I'm saying? So, but if she, that's one thing about me. I'm not afraid to admit the truth. Yeah, she said.
Yes, you are. That's what we be fussing about.
No, when I text her right after I got off the call with you, while I was still in the live, I text you, and I chatted and I said, I just asked my daughter, and she said, yeah, she has. And I said, LOL. So it's nothing. I mean, I'm not ashamed of it.
Okay. And two other quick things. One is a statement. So the fact that your son, you said he's been with his high school sweetheart all this time, is married and all that. Do you know that there are black women out there?
No, he's not married. He's not married.
Okay.
That's another thing you guys have an issue with doing in Discord is in the chat is you guys add on. I didn't say he was married. I said his kid's mother is Hispanic. That's what I said.
No, we ain't gonna talk about adding on because we the last thing I'm gonna ask you. That's just like a bunch of shit I need to add. We're gonna get to a point here. But you know that there are women, because that's the mother of his children or whatever. That's who he's been with or who he may be with, who will believe that your son hates black women.
No, and that's not. Thank you. I'm so glad you brought that up. Thank you for bringing that up. Mm-hmm. So again. Does that mean he hates black women because he happened to fall in love with somebody that was on, you know what I'm saying, that he had a lot of contact with in high school? No. You know what I'm saying?
But in the eyes of a lot of black women, I dated a chick in high school for a little while. That was the only chick I was with because I wasn't cheating. I wasn't doing all that because that was a chick I was loyal to at the time. I was Uncle Tom. I was all this. I hated black women. I ain't fuck with black. Like, that's the stigma just because that's the person you're dealing with at the time.
No. This is what it is. I'm gonna just break this down. oh my God, I hate to have to be blunt like this, but when you have people, okay, and I'm not gonna name no name in your chat that just constantly degrade and denounce and just find every horrible thing to say about black women, that's self-hate. That's hating black women. My son never has said anything derogatory.
It doesn't matter though.
Hold
In
on.
the eyes of black women, he hates black
Let me
women.
just hold on. What?
This is what I'm telling you.
Let me just finish. He just happened to be in high school playing football. There's a cheerleader. She's Hispanic, just like me and my ex-husband. We just happen to be both black. They ride on the bus together. They have practice at the same time. They leave at the same time. So he just happened to find something in common with someone who was Hispanic. Does he get on here and say, yeah, black women breath is stinking? No.
It doesn't
he doesn't
matter.
have an issue.
This is where you're
he
missing.
Doesn't have an issue with black women.
But you're missing the context of what I'm saying. You're missing the context of what I'm saying. I'm not saying that he has an issue with black women. I didn't have an issue with black women when I was younger and I happened to be dating the white girl. But because of the visual, because I happened to be with a white woman at the time, the stigma that black women applied is that he don't date black women, he hate black women. They start adding the label in their eyes. That's automatic
I don't agree with that. No, I think that's wrong.
Telling you. So how you going from not only my experience, but I can guarantee.
I agree with you.
Okay,
but I agree with you. That's not right.
Okay, but that's my thing. So that's what I was saying. I'm not saying your son doesn't because he's with me that he's ever talked bad about black women or anything like that. I'm just saying simply because of that. That stigma is going to be applied.
People will give that stigma to him. Yeah, no, I said I agree with you on that. Okay. Like it doesn't apply. Everybody that dates somebody out of race. Let me tell you something. When I was single, my girlfriends, after I got my divorce, was like, because I have a thing where I guess because of my body build, whatever. When we go to clubs, my friends will always say, "Oh yeah, that white dude, he gonna try to talk to you." And I've never dated outside of my race. That's just not what's attracted to me, right? So, but white men, for whatever reason, are attracted to me. But I don't have no interest in that. Now, my best friend, she dates white guys. You know what I'm saying? She's a light-skinned girl. She's a beautiful girl. She dated white guys, Mexican guys, all that. But we would always laugh and joke because she was like, even though you ain't interested and I'm the one that will date them, they always approach you. Like, and it was a joke to us. But it's just, it doesn't mean that you hate the race just because you choose to step out of your race. It just means that you happen to be attracted to this person. There's nothing wrong with that.
Okay. And here's the very, very last thing. I promise the last thing that we got to wrap it up. Okay. You made reference to a statement or something multiple times. You said that John was out here calling all black people niggers. When did John say that?
Okay, so it was, oh my God, well, I can't, quote the exact live, but yeah, he made reference to black people being niggers, and everybody knows that he does. So it's not even an if, ands, or but if you want me to cite the exact live, I don't sit down and write down what live he did.
And correct me if I'm wrong. So this was about sometime kind of, about around last week?
I'm not sure. Like in the last 2 weeks, yes. In the last 2 weeks.
Okay. And I'm pretty sure I remember which one. Now, because there was a live where a lot of things happened in that live that led to a lot of...
And you know what? This is the thing, Honcho. A lot of people, I guess, in your chat are okay with him calling people niggas, and that's fine.
Listen, but let's
clarify
I'm saying, what was said, because I believe he's being misquoted.
But as far as me, I'm just saying, as far as my preference, I prefer not to talk to anybody who still would use that type of language. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my preference.
But do you believe quoting someone is okay? Or if you're citing someone or citing a source to use the term that they use, is that okay?
What do you mean? I'm sorry.
So like if you were to quote somebody, or if you were quoting a song or quoting a verse, a paragraph out of a book or something like that, do you think it would be ideal to use the
yeah, but that's not what he was doing.
Okay, but that's exactly what he quoted what I said.
But that would be okay, yeah. That would be okay.
So what John said
but that's not what he did.
This is what John did that day. What John said was, just like you said, Honcho, there are niggers of all races, because that is what I said in that live. And then he went on to say what he was saying. So he quoted
Okay, and like
something
I
that
said, my position has on this has not changed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, regardless to whatever how he was quoting it or whatever, it's not cool to even for you as a white person to be using niggas. It's not cool. Just like it's not cool if I call people crackers or if I call people Mexicans wetbacks. It's not cool. Now, if other Mexicans want to call Mexicans wetbacks, that's on them. But me as a, an African American person who has a lot of Latina friends or white friends, I'm never going to use that term regardless. And I still feel the same way.
So you're saying a personal choice that should be applied to everybody is how you feel?
No, I'm saying that generally across the world right now, especially in the time that we're in, I think that white people, black people, Hispanic people should be careful and not use derogatory statements against other people of other races for no reason.
Man, I'm
Period.
trying to step my racist game up. I'm trying to go to the next. I'm trying to discover some new racial terms. I'm tired of this 2020. I need some new racist shit. Like, I'm trying to find new stereotypes. I'm like, fuck all that not offending people shit. We gotta go harder shit. We can all survive this year, 2021. No, but here's my thing.
Just a lot of things that he says. I mean, just like, oh my God, and I would never, and this is black woman, and this and that. I mean, the list goes on and on. It's obvious to anybody who wants to be impartial that he's clearly racist. So I'm not even like, I would prefer if you don't even ask me about him. I said what I said. I'm not changing anything I said. In my eyes, he's a racist. And, there's a lot of racist people that like to filter them way into where black people are and just say these underlining statements that they know are offensive, but they like to continue to say them. And I heard another one of your callers talk about this. When he knows good and well, he would not say any of this shit to our face. So that's what I see John as. You know what I'm saying? He clout chasing. He want to say things that are, to get people enraged or whatever, because he thinks it's cute and he can hide behind his computer. But all this shit he's saying, first of all, I don't even believe all his stories about who he supposedly, and a black woman wouldn't do that to me because she know I won't tolerate that shit. Highly doubt any black women are dating him, because if you're sitting on a couch with him and he's saying the racist shit he says on here, unless you are a black woman with no self-esteem whatsoever, no black woman would deal with that. So his stories to me are just that. They're fairy tales. And that's all I have to say about that.
Okay. Well, on that note, we're going to get ready to wind it down.
And everybody can get mad. I know y'all don't like it.
I hope you join us in the Discord, Ms. Bad, which I would like to continue this conversation. I did have some other points that a couple of things I wrote down from earlier that I did want to ask, but I don't have the time at the moment. But I do appreciate you calling in and, sharing your thoughts with us this afternoon.
Okay, I got to go to the store, but I'll check in after I get back from the store.
All right, sounds good.
Okay, bye.
Bye. All right. That was tough. I know. There are some other calls on the line. I have to cha-cha slide. We'll be in the Discord. Got to take care of a couple of things. But I thank y'all for being here. I thank y'all for coming through. We're going to continue kind of along this series of conversations. So if you're here for it, buckle up, right? Because there is a reason why I'm doing these things, okay? And that is because I do want to bring more black women into the conversation. I want to bring more women into the conversation. So for a bit, the topics may be along this because, I do have to do some short stuff too. The shorter videos do also bring in more people. But I want to switch up the conversation just a little bit. And again, you have to have certain topics to attract certain people. And again, I want to make sure the women feel like they are properly represented in the den. So I thank you. Well, look, you take that shit and run with it. You should be having plenty of ideas. You should be sparking lots of ideas, young Kenneth. I got a list here. I'll give you 2 or 3. No, I won't. But anywho, I thank y'all. I got to slide. With that being said, this is the best conversation. It's my privilege. I got it all messed up. It is my privilege, my pleasure, But most of all, like I say, it's my honor to get to chop it up with y'all, man. Again, it's just to have this ability. The fact that y'all come in and chop it up. I mean, the callers, the people in the chat, man, it's like it's a special thing, to know that we can jump on here and get together as a community. I just thank y'all for being a part of it. But I got slide trying to introduce y'all. This ain't All Sports, but y'all know what it is. Discord. I still ain't put the damn outro on this thing. I'm out. This over just in the middle of me